Chops Garage is proud to be sponsored by Car Vertical, the largest online database of vehicle information. Use the link in the description down below to find the true history of your vehicle or one you're about to buy.
Welcome back to Chops Garage on a very windy, blustery day. So what have we got on today? We've got this Hyundai i20 on. So those of you that watch the channel regularly would have seen this come in as a part exchange from a main dealer. It's a one owner, 59,000, I think it's 59,000 mile Hyundai i20 1.2. One of my favourite little runabout cars. These are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Drives beautifully, this one. We got it in and put it straight down for MOT. It sold immediately to one of our subscribers who put a deposit down on it, so he's awaiting the car. And there was a little bit of delay with Moors being very busy and with parts not turning up, but it now has a full advisory free MOT. I think we did some suspension, tyre, I think we wire brushed down a rear axle and gave it a coat stone chip, so it didn't have an advisory for surface rust, which you need to do on all cars of this age, to be honest. If you want to get them through the, on those kind of advisories, it just all needs, the underside of them always need a wire brush down and a bit of a stone chip at this age. So yeah, advisory free MOT. We have left to do on it. We've got to do an oil and filter change on it because I forgot to ask him to do it. So we need to do an oil and filter change, but nice simple one on this. So don't mind getting my hands dirty on that. So it goes out with a fresh service. Then it needs a mother of all cleans because although it was a low ownership one, they put the seat covers on which are lovely and faded. Oh, I haven't got it unlocked. Lovely and faded. And it just needs a really good clean up. I think the seats underneath are going to be bang on because they've had these covers on from new, but it all just needs a really good hoover out. All the plastics need cleaning, but I would like to go to the extent of machine polishing the body because there are some very light scratches. We get a lot of this in Devon where cars go down the road and they get scraped up along the hedgerows. I'd like to get the wheel trims off, wire brush the wheels down, stone chip them, clean the wheel trims, put them back on again because it always looks tidier. The only thing with these is they're bolted through, so you have to unbolt the wheel to get them off. Pain in the bum. So yeah, so that's the job for today. Now, so we'll have a look at it now as it stands. Looking a little bit tired and a bit dirty, and we'll see how we can turn it round. Let's get cracking. So i20's all done. Got the battery in charge because I forgot to pull the boot light out when I was cleaning it, and I spent many an hour cleaning it. So you can see the shine on the car now is looking absolutely fantastic. The wheels, it's so worth pulling the trims and spraying behind them. Makes such a lot of difference. So yeah, full machine polish, wheel trims off. I haven't put any tyre shine on yet actually. I'll probably do that just before pick up because it gives a bit of a better look if you do it sooner. To pick up inside, it's a bit dark but you can't see it. It is mint. Those seat covers just completely saved those seats. All the plastic trim is obviously all treated. It looks really, really good. Took the time obviously to spray those bits of trim down here that had lost some of their colour. These little things just really lift the car. Obviously we did all the machine polishing of the headlights. The engine bay had a full detail, and it's obviously had its fresh air filter, oil filter. I think we spent about just short of £600 on it for the MOT. Got quite a lot of bits done, mostly suspension, tyres done on it. But now, I mean, I think I've undersold it again. 2,995 I've done. I did put it up on my site at 3,295. Looking at it now, the sawdust, by the way, if you're seeing that on the floors where I've made a mess spilling oil. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine there's a cleaner i20 of this age out and about with this kind of mileage on and this service history. It's a little minter. I think it probably would have sold at 3,495, to be honest. You don't find cars like this that often. I do love the little i20s. I've said this time and time again. It's that bit bigger than the i10, so you've got a little bit more space, but with the same unit in it, you've got all the room in the world to work on it, and they still go plenty quick enough. They still feel faster than the 1.2 Corsa. So we'll leave it on charge and then we'll move it into the showroom, where it's a shame I should have done a bit of video there. We got better light on it, but we'll yeah, leave it to charge up fully and then get it into the showroom. I think the last thing I need to do is put a bit of fuel in it and we're good to go. Right everyone, a few of you said to me in the last video when I was talking about auction prices that I just need to be braver with my pricing. Well, here we go. Here's one for you. Daihatsu Sirion 1.3 2008. It has got a brand new MOT on it, which reads really quite well. It's got a BCA Essential check, which, to be honest, doesn't mean an awful lot. The engine runs and drives. It'll select A gear, that kind of thing. So it doesn't cover an awful lot. But we're going to go hell for leather on this one because it's automatic and it's got a new MOT on it and it's a small automatic. It says here that the retail is 2.5 and that clean is 910. I have bid £1,200 because I think that actually I can get 2,995 for that car. I might even up that to 13. Let's up it to 1,300. We're going to go hell for leather. This is going to prove the point or not. Big risk because it could turn out to be an absolute pile of poo. It has got some damage to the bodywork, but at the price point I think we're looking at, I don't see us doing an awful lot about that. I've got the sill there's got a dent in it. That'll just be filled and sanded down with some fiberglass filler because it won't shrink up. Yeah, a little bit on the corner there. It'll just be a case of a little bit of a tidy up, nothing major. So we'll see how we get on with that. I've got a feeling I'll still be outbid on that, but we'll touch base later and have a look. Right, excuse the noisy rain. We've gone in strong with a load of bids here on small cars. Some of my absolute favourites, like the Kia Rio, which I think is a cracking value car. Always bid on those if I see those. A Nissan Micra, I know I'm going to get grief for that one, but it doesn't have a hole in the roof. Panda, nice cheap cars. 4x4 Panda, had to have a bid on that. i20, black i20. That confirmed a massively undersold the one I've just sold. That's 2011 with 50,000 miles on. I just sold mine 2010 with 57,000 miles on for 2,995, and I'm bidding 2.3 on a 2011. Anyway, give it a go. And then my cheeky bid of the day is £100 for this faded MOT run out Suzuki Alto, because I thought that'd be a bit of fun if we get that in. Oh, a few of you said, why didn't I bid higher than £100 on the Rover 45? That had no MOT on it. It ran out. And don't forget, you still ain't going to end up paying 150. So with the delivery, another, say, £300 on top. So even at my bid at £100, I'd have been £400 into a Rover 45 with no MOT and no mechanical report. That's why I didn't bid more than £100. Lost my Yaris for the sake of £50. That's annoying. Well out on the Punto, massively on the Punto. Lost out on my little tatty Alto. And that final bid of £200 on that one. Right, guys, we won some. I've massively overpaid for them, but we've won some. So we won the Kia Rio. That I did want that car. I really like the look of it. I really do like it in that orange, like I think I said earlier. And I do love the Kia Rios. They've always been great cars for me. They've been good little sellers. They're reliable. I think you get a stupid amount of car for your money. And they're nice and simple, so there isn't an awful lot to go wrong with them. It's a grade 4, so we'll have to see what the body's like when it arrives. It was out of MOT, so we're going to have to put an MOT on it. It had 83,000 miles on it. The essential check came back clear, which is the basic check you get with BCA. There's nothing really of any proper value on there. It could still have some major issues, but the basic level, it's okay. $1 million question, how much we pay for it? We paid £1,500 for it. £1,500, but that's not the end of it. If we go into it, we paid £1,500, then we paid £772 in fees, which seems really high. I don't know if my card's gone down. You get different levels of card based on how many cars you're buying. I haven't bought it for a while, so it may well have gone down a level and I'm paying more. £11, I pay for the privilege of the essential check. The delivery, interestingly, I know that as a seller you pay for the privilege of the essential check as well, so both parties are paying. Delivery £68, which, you know, you can't argue that's good value. There's a VAT, but it's coming out at $1,866. So $1,866, I have to MOT the car, which on a car that age, if we get away with spending less than a couple hundred quid, it'll be amazing. So we'll be at about $2,066. I've got to put the warranty on it, which will be at least £100. So we're at 2,166, and we've then got to pay the VAT, which will be, you know, a couple of £100, I would have thought at least. And the value of this car is, according to Trader, about £2,500. So pretty much we'll be at a break even on that car. So we would, just to make £300 or so, we're going to have to sell it at like 2,795 or something like that. That's assuming there's no major problems with the car. Madness, absolute madness. So I just can't see how we'll get out of that one alive. The other one we bought was a 2011 Peugeot 107 with 79,000, grade 4 again, so we're going to see what the body's like when it came in. Passed its essential check, it was all okay on that. The big thing with this is it had a really long MOT. Now, I'd like to put a new MOT in it, but at these price points, there's no way I can. I just have to have a safety check done. We paid $1,600 for that, with the fees... With the fees and delivery, we're all in at 1966. Again, that's probably a 2795 car again. We might have to try and squeeze 2995 out. We might have to try and squeeze 2995 out of both cars. It might be more of a struggle on the Rio. That'll probably have to be a 2795. That's going to have to be a 2995 for me to get out of these cars alive. And even then, I'll probably be making £300 on each of the cars, which, you know, okay, £300. But as we know, £300 is not £300 until that car's gone past its 6 months. It could throw up an issue a week, a month later that I have to fix, and that'll be totally wiped out. But anyway, you wanted me to experiment with it. We've done it, so we'll have the pleasure of the BCA truck turning up, which we haven't seen for a long time, have we? We'll have the pleasure of you discovering along with me, because I won't look at them before I record them. We'll do it live with you guys. Well, not live, but we'll do it as they come in and see what we've actually got. And you're not going to want to miss that, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, so when the new video comes out, you get notified first. So in the Cougar, we're going to see if we can't reset this DPF. Now, I have put DPF cleaner in it and run it down the road and got it pretty hot, but I think we might still need to do that. I only used the fuel additive DPF cleaner. I think I need to use the pour-in DPF cleaner, as a few people have explained to me, but I'm actually interested. I've never done a DPF regen. and I'd quite like to learn and see if the Top Don will do it, and quite like to learn how to do it out of interest. Do you know what I mean? It all helps you with experience later on, doesn't it? So I think, like I say, I think it won't necessarily solve the problem, or at least it won't solve it long term, but I'd be interested to have a go at doing it. It's really annoying actually, because the car drives brilliantly. Like I said in the earlier video, it's really pretty nippy, this. It drives nicely, gearbox is nice, brakes are good, handles nicely. It's a nice car to be in. I've used it for the last couple of days, no problems at all, because it had loads of fuel in it. So, you know, this DPF thing is just annoying, like all these sensors and all that guff. Just make cars unnecessarily complicated, don't they? Anyway, let's have a go at doing it. Right, I've got a lot of codes to do with voltage, so before I go any further, I'm just going to check the battery on this, because I think we might have a duff battery on it, which won't obviously affect DPF, but affect a lot of other codes I've got coming out, like an ABS one and so forth. So let's give that a go. And luckily, Top Don sent me a while ago their BT300P. I think we used it on one car before, but didn't really show you what it could do. And this is going to help tell me if the battery's any good, because one thing you'll find when you've got loads of codes and they mention voltage, the first thing you want to do is go and check your battery, and it might turn over okay, all that kind of thing, but you need a proper test to see if it's got the right cranking power, if it's recharging properly as it should do, all those kinds of things. So let's just make sure we've got the right one on the right one. Oh, it's tight to get in there. I hate when they don't put that battery terminals in easy to get to places. It's one of the most often things you need to fiddle with on your car. Why do you want it tucked away somewhere you can't get to? There we go. Now, as per norm, I've not read the instructions, so you guys are going to learn with me at the same time. Let's do a battery test first. I'm assuming it's regular flooded. It is GB. Power too low, continue with testing. Let's just check I had the right one there, because I just read on the side of it that this is 70 AH, not 60. There we go. Battery too low, continue to, so it is, it's, yeah, continue with testing. So we're already, this is showing us, although the car starts fine, that battery is not at its best. Test after charging. Yeah, hasn't even got enough to properly test. Oh, and I've got the paper stack as well. Yeah, right. Well, the first thing we need to do is get it charging, then we'll rerun it with the Top Don again once it's had a charge in it. But that's already indicating to us that all those electrical problems are due to a duff battery. I think we'll hold off doing that regen until we've got this battery fully charged. Right, so the battery's nearly 100% now, so it should be enough for us to test. 70. Testing. Okay, so now it says good battery, healthy 89%, charge 100%, 12.78 volts. Right, I think what we're going to do is check that it's charging. I want to check that it's actually charging. Please start the engine, press enter to continue. 2 seconds. Right, so engine's running now. Doing a ripple test. 14.2, 14, that looks like it's charging okay. Increase speed to 2,500 for 5 seconds, press enter to continue. So charging normal 14.32, unloaded 14.3, so that's looking good. Right, we'll do a cranking test. Well, I've already started the engine, so let's stop the engine and do that one again, I think. Right, cranking test. Engine detected, that's a bonus. Cranking normal. So everything looked fine on that. The only thing I forgot to do is just a printout of it. So we can put that with the paperwork with the car. to prove that the battery was okay when the car left us, and to give the buyer confidence that the battery's okay. So let's print that. There we go. Little printout proves we sent the car out with a decent battery. Now to make sure it goes back in its nice carry case and doesn't get just left randomly somewhere out like it normally does. There are instruction manuals in there. I just hadn't read them, had I? So as per normal, the old Top Done guys have looked after you, and they have offered a discount code for anybody wanting to purchase the battery tester, and you'll find that in the description down below. As per with the Top Done stuff, it seems to be a really good bit of kit. Very useful if you are flipping cars, faffing around with cars regularly, because I've got a feeling now we've got the charge up in that battery and we know the battery's good, that if we do a reset on those codes for the ABS, I think they should go away. So back onto the diagnostics machine, and let's see what we can clear and see what comes back. Doing another health report. Those ABS codes are still there because I haven't cleared any of the codes yet, so what we're going to do is clear them, then start the car again and see what comes back. And maybe you have to drive it to be sure, but there's so many that they, like I say, that's what indicated to me that the battery is bad. And you know, obviously Top Done showed us the battery actually wasn't good when we first tried that, so now it's fully charged up, should be good to go if we clear these codes and restart the car. You always know you've likely got a problem with your battery when you have this many codes. It's almost a more positive sign that you that things are okay, really. So the ABS one did clear, so did the all-wheel drive one, so they all have cleared now. Okay, so we'll come out of that, we'll start the car, and the ABS lights have gone out now. So we'll just take it for a quick spin around the car park and see if they pop up again, because realistically as soon as I brake, if there is an actual problem, they should pop straight back up again. Oh, let's have a paddy that I haven't got my seatbelt on, but let's have a quick go around the car park and just see if the ABS lights come back on. Now obviously the DPF light has also gone out, but that's just because I've reset it. Doesn't mean the DPF is fixed, unless our in-tank DPF does keep it clear. We'll go for a hot run in it as well and see what the score is with that. So let's brake. No ABS lights. Oh no, hold on, we've got traction control light on now, so maybe we have actually got a problem. Just check it isn't switched off somewhere. Can't see a button to switch on the traction control. A lot of these cars, there isn't an easy way to do it, so we'll plug in and just check what it's coming back for that. So let's just switch it off, and then we'll turn it back on again and see if that code is still there. Yeah, that one's still there, so that hasn't cleared. Okay, we'll plug it in and see what that is. Next we've got the rev counter doing a funny thing. I wonder if we still haven't got some power issue, you know. I think we need to check the battery again. CAN data from the PCM power control model missing. Steering angle sensor. These are all electrical again. These are all battery. These are all voltage again. I'm gonna check that battery again. You know, that will look like voltage stuff again to me. Yeah, the only one staying there is the CAN data from the PCM power control model invalid or missing. Let's check the battery voltage again. It's reading 12.7. Still on there. We know the old one still says good battery, healthy, 92%. I wonder if we've got a loose connection somewhere. Let's check the terminals are tight. Not sure, guys. I'm going to do what I always do in these situations. I'm going to drive it for a day and see what stays and see what goes away, I think, because I'm not entirely convinced we actually have a problem, because it wasn't doing this when I first got the car and used it. It's been sitting for a little while and now it's doing it. So I know it sounds like a dealer thing to say, but I'm going to put some miles on it, drive it for a bit and see what goes away.